The music and the performance and the fashion are one. I don't separate my art from my life. It is one whole thing.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Patrick.
I'm Patrick.
And I'm Tom. And this is Chewing on Pearls, the show where we dissect and decipher Lady Gaga's chameleonic career and its impact, one pearl at a time, of course.
So we're back, of course.
Yeah.
When you killed me inside, I came alive.
Yeah.
And I'm a porcelain doll ready for the dead dance.
Ready for the runway.
Yes.
So we're here. We're talking The Dead Dance. Lady Gaga famously released her single, The Dead Dance, on Wednesday, September 3rd, just yesterday. When this episode comes out, it'll have been 2 days ago. And it coincides with the premiere of the final act of Netflix's season 2 of the show Wednesday, in which Gaga makes a brief, ghostly cameo as Rosaline Rotwood, emphasis on brief.
Yes. Yes. We'll get into it.
Yes.
The song is accompanied by a Tim Burton directed music video shot on La Isla de las Muñecas, just south of Mexico City. Local legend says the island's reclusive resident, Don Julian Santa Barrera, found a drowned girl by the island and hung up her doll on a tree to ward off evil spirits. It is believed the spirit of the young girl haunts the island and demands dolls in exchange for miracles and blessings. The dolls are thought to be haunted and reportedly have been seen moving their limbs and blinking their eyes. Locals warn tourists not to touch or remove dolls from the island out of fear of supernatural repercussions, which we'll also get into.
Yes. So the song, The Dead Dance, is featured in Wednesday during a dance sequence that incorporates choreography that we also see in the music video. I don't know the character that's doing the dance. The only characters I know are in the Addams Family.
Yeah, I'm like, it's girl 1 and girl 2.
Yes.
And they're
and then there's Wednesday. It's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yes.
And Monday and Tuesday, 8 down.
Yes. Wednesday...
It was low key. I was like, when I saw the clip with the choreo in the show, I was like, what is the Sia ass, whatever. And then when I saw the music video and then I watched the choreo again, I was like, stunning.
Yes, absolutely. Let's talk about, before we get into Gaga's relationship with Netflix and Wednesday, let's talk about the song. So Gaga released an original, like a single cover for this track, which I think surprised fans because there wasn't a single cover for Abracadabra, which is the kind of crown jewel of this whole era in terms of singles. I mean, unless you count Die With a Smile. Right. But in terms of like the Mayhem aesthetic and Mistress of Mayhem, it's Abracadabra. But we got this single cover that just shows a hand holding two kind of like dance slippers.
A little character shoe, if you will.
And the labels inside the dance shoes say Lady Gaga, and it's like kind of treated to look hot pink. And then it says Dead Dance in this kind of like Goonies retro horror camp font underneath it. And it got people really excited, I think, that I don't know, there was like a single cover. It like gave it a different energy for sure.
Well, I also think it's important to maybe also acknowledge that all of a sudden, all this like hype for this song, like, well, I guess not all of a sudden, like we knew Gaga had involvement with Wednesday. We knew she did the Netflix Ta-Dum, but there was this like heightened attention where it was like, this song needs to be a radio smash. Like, if it's going to be a single, like she's going to come and dominate Abracadabra Who, like all of this weird energy that was like,
and I think
put on.
It starts with the Little Managers, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because we know that this song was registered in that, songwriter song, what is it? It's like a publication database back in March.
BMI, yeah.
BMI.
And rumors have been swirling of Mayhem Deluxe.
Right. And people knew that she was involved with Wednesday, so they were like, what if it's a Wednesday thing? So I think fans kind of were onto it before it was officially announced. So that's, neither here nor there. But Gaga only spoke publicly about it at a Wednesday Spotify like press conference thing, which was like 6 days ago. And before that, I think it was like 2 weeks ago that Variety confirmed that Gaga would be releasing this song and video in tandem with the releasing of the Wednesday season. But a lot of the conversation before then, and then of course after that as well, was a lot of fans speculating that this was like, because of the Netflix collaboration, that it was like the team's giant attempt to like have her have another like #1 insane chart dominating hit of this era.
Right. And to us, it seems very clearly like this extension of the universe through this other project that Gaga is just like an authentic fan of and like happy to be a part of.
Right. And like, of course,
like it doesn't feel like it has that kind of stakes.
Right. I agree. I think it was easy for me to get caught up in some of the like hype around it, because I mean, it's new Gaga music. We will both always die for new Gaga music, like in any capacity. But
right, totally.
But because there were rumors that Gaga was shooting this music video with Tim Burton in Mexico months ago. And
well, let's get into the rumors.
Yeah.
Because we do it to ourselves every time. And we, the collective we being the little monstrosities, where it's like we believe, for some reason, we believe someone who like has a fucking Lana Del Rey profile picture on some message board that's like, hey, so Dead Dance is coming. It's a 10-minute feature film. It has a Princess Di interlude. It starts with Garden of Eden and Zombie Boy. Gaga is like a zombie come to life. There's a thriller, blah, blah, blah. And we're all like, great. Then we see the leak of Gaga on the Island of the Dolls in Mexico.
Yes.
So everyone's like, oh, great, it's confirmed.
It's true. Yeah. And
that
actually,
is true.
What's actually crazy is that in a way, you're conflating two different like ATRL people, because that person with the Lana Del Rey Ocean Boulevard profile picture has been right about everything. This is somebody who's like, it's coming on 9/3, it's dropping at midnight, there will be a single cover, there will be like, this is the vibe. It's they were the one who was like debunking some of the crazy rumors. But then there's this other person who I think took the notoriety that fan had gotten from being right about like the Abracadabra video and the Disease video and kind of ran with it. And we were all convinced. I mean, we weren't fully convinced that it was going to be some insane feature length thing. Like, let's be honest. But it did kind of like heighten the stakes, at least. I think there was a part of me that was like, this is supposed to be, I don't know, like a real crown jewel in the Mayhem story for some reason.
Or serve as kind of like the GUI film being kind of like the encapsulation of that visual world.
Right,
for
like
art
a summary.
Pop being like, yes, like this is it.
And so the song comes out. My first listen, I thought it was cute. I've listened to it probably like a dozen times since then. And it gets cuter with each listen. That's just what happens with music. But it isn't, I'll be honest, it doesn't have the sophistication in the songwriting or in the production that the rest of Mayhem has.
Well, let's get into it. So the real origin of this whole situation is the Dead Dance is featured on Wednesday during a dance sequence. So Wednesday's creators, Al Goff and Miles Miller, detailed how Lady Gaga got involved with the show in a new interview with the Los Angeles Times. Quote, "It all grew out of the viral dance from the first season. Some fan who should collect a lot of money."
True.
I love that they said that, but they're like, we're not going to fucking find him.
Right.
Or them or whoever they are.
Yeah.
And put Lady Gaga's Bloody Mary over the dance because it was Goo Goo Mug. And suddenly the dance becomes its own whole new thing. We've always been a huge Lady Gaga fan, and if there was anybody who was the ultimate outcast, it would be her. We just started a conversation with her and her team. Is there any way for her to be involved in season 2? We found this character because obviously she's very busy and touring. That could be a small role, but it's an impactful one. Out of that grew The Dead Dance, a song that she had, which we heard a year ago and loved. They're like, she'll hold on to it for the show. And we were like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So then Gaga says, I immediately had a song in mind called The Dead Dance, and I had started working on it. But once I knew it was going to be for Wednesday, I decided that I was going to work on it even more, and I made it extra special for the show. To me, when you know that music and pop culture and Tim Burton all come together with this cast, that is a very special recipe. After that happened, they asked me if I wanted to be on the show, and I said absolutely.
That's what's interesting, because these statements don't say the same thing. The statement from the show, in case you missed it, listeners, the statement from the show is saying that they basically, let me start over. They're saying, so the people from the show are saying that they had asked her to do a role, and out of that came The Dead Dance. And Gaga is saying that they reached out to her to use a song in the show, and then out of that, she was asked to do a small role. And for us little managers, I feel like that does make like a huge difference in the narrative of this whole moment. Yeah.
Well, my hot take is they're literally like reverse engineering the Bloody Mary TikTok virality. And this is an attempt at that. And we will see if it is a success. But I feel like personally, the Bloody Mary TikTok viral trend, Bloody Mary on the radio, like that was just like serendipitous and lightning in a bottle. I feel like anytime anyone tries to like recreate that kind of like organic, authentic fan moment, like it never really
because you're
because
taking,
it's not the same
the
thing.
Fan out of it. Like it's the same thing with
exactly.
like the Apple dance or any of these kinds of like viral dance moments that happen because a fan hears a song and decides to move a certain way, or in this case is like, let me set this scene I really like from this TV show to this song that I really like, and then it like makes it something else. And so it's really a fan edit that created the Bloody Mary moment, which is funny that they acknowledge. But yeah, it is a reverse engineering. I don't think it really matters, I guess, whether Gaga was asked to do a song or not.
For me, it matters in the sense that the Wednesday creators were like, oh, well, obviously we have to bring back a dance moment because the dance moment went viral in the first season.
Yeah.
And because it went viral to Lady Gaga, we should see if we could get a Gaga song. Like,
right.
I'm just like, yeah.
It's interesting because to me, I guess the difference for me is that if she was asked to do a role, which we know she filmed her part in this show last fall, which was like after Disease came out, she was making Disease TikToks in the Ireland hotel she was staying in.
Right.
Like it just makes me think, okay, so if the song actually came first, that means that they like they probably had set The Dead Dance aside pretty early on in the like, I don't know, deciding what would be on the album, deciding what wouldn't be, and I'm guessing that Netflix specified they wouldn't want it to be something that would come out until the show came out. You know what I mean? So I'm guessing that her and her team had to make a decision about, which of the songs that we're not including on Mayhem would serve the era well later on.
Right. And that's what's interesting about the quote where they're like, The Dead Dance, which we heard a year earlier.
Yeah.
So it's like they probably hit up Gaga as soon as the freaking Bloody Mary
was signed,
thing was going
for the second season.
Or when they knew that the season had they had been greenlit for a second season and the viral moment happened, they probably were like, let's shoot for the moon. Let's hit up Gaga's team.
Totally. It's super interesting.
And then Gaga being like, oh, well, hold it. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
But now I'm being a little monstrosity and a little manager. Part of me is like, she's like, let's hold it because it's not an album track.
No, yeah, of course. That's what I'm getting at, is that
Yeah.
if this was all happening well before the final track list of Mayhem was like decided on, if this like honestly was happening when Mayhem's working title was still Perfect Celebrity, I don't think it was like a difficult decision. And I think
Right.
that they knew, also her saying like, this is a combination of music and pop culture and Tim Burton and this cast and Netflix, you know, like all of that stuff. She is kind of, to me, the in between those lines is sort of like, we're choosing a song that's easy. You know, like,
Right. And
they're
a
not
song
going to
that
put,
works in this world.
yeah, they're not going to put like Vanish Into You into Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Right.
And especially like this song just has less substance in the way that other Mayhem tracks have substance in terms of the lyricism and in terms of like both like the imagery and then also like parallels to Gaga's own life, you know? So
Right.
this song like doesn't have that, and that's okay. And that's why it's not on Mayhem. But I think that there was this moment where people were like, wait, it's becoming clear. It was announced that it would be like included in Mayhem on streaming platforms. And so it sort of like recontextualized the release again, where people were like, this is part of the Mayhem world. And it is, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it is and it's not.
It's almost like it's the bridge between Mayhem the album and the Art of Personal Chaos, the stage show.
Yes.
And like, it also gives, you know, Gaga early on when she was doing those first couple interviews for Mayhem, she's like, I wrote a lot of music.
Yeah.
And I believe that.
Yeah, totally.
And I do think that like there's probably a lot more like ooky spooky monster mash vampire, spooky girl, zombie girl. Like, there probably is a lot more of a gothic dream world that exists. And that's why this imagery is so like present for her when she's thinking about the album and how she wants to convey that in a live performance. I know that it's been a critique of some people being like, I don't get the A to B to C. Like, I don't get the album imagery to the music to the tour. But it's like, for Gaga, I think she knows that like all of these ideas, that like what is coming out now in terms of like the tour and what we're getting, are probably things she was thinking about when she was writing this album.
Totally. I mean, and again, I think it's just to like kind of seat some people on that. Let's just revisit something that we talked about in an old episode really quick, and then we can talk about the fucking song. But mayhem is a word that comes from the word maim, which means to dismember. We're seeing this imagery of Gaga being split through like fragments of glass and mirror and all of this stuff. She's talking about an album where she's touching on every genre that she has essentially been influenced by and has like done already. So she's splitting her kind of desire to give a streamlined POV into multiple fragments. Then we get a stage show where there's multiple versions of Gaga. We're getting visuals where there are multiple versions of Gaga. And now we have a music video where her face is literally cracked. So I would like to remind people that when you really distill it, it is all the same. It is like all about fragmentation and like sewing together, Frankensteining, if you will, all of these pieces of her. But ultimately, this song is a demonstration, or it's a piece of the kind of funky side of mayhem, but it also includes some of that like electro synth element as well. And so I think it wonderfully kind of pairs two of the sounds that we hear on Mayhem, to be honest.
Yeah. And I think that's a great segue to talk about, in addition to the release of Dead Dance. Dead Dance has been added to Mayhem on streaming platforms with Can't Stop the High and Kill for Love, two exclusive tracks, which, quite frankly, all three of those on Mayhem, it's like, what a perfect sonic journey.
Totally.
It like completely rounds out the album in a way that just feels correct. Like
Yeah,
Dead
yeah.
Dance in the context of the album, I'm like, bitch, I'm dancing till I'm dead.
Right. I will say I liked the song more once I was able to listen to it in the track list like that. And
Right.
I
Oh my
also
God, I've seen some shit though that it's like with Can't Stop the High, Kill for Love and Dead Dance on the album. They're like, so how are we gonna like explain Don't Call Tonight? Like where's the rationale there? And
that's
it's
so
like, okay,
shady.
not too much, not too
Not too
much.
much. Honestly,
Driving home to your favorite song.
yes. I'm gonna say some speculation that I had when I was listening to it, actually just now before we started recording, which is that I think it's possible that Lady Gaga, Andrew Watt, and Circuit had this little bit that never made it into a song, never made it into Kill for Love or Zombie Boy. That was the bit that's like, and you're gonna bring me back from death. Like that sounds like Mayhem to me. Like that sounds like
Right.
Gaga writing. And I'm not saying that the verses do not, but I could see them being like, this is something that suits a choreo moment, which their Netflix wants, and
Right.
let's add some little verses on it. Like that's
Right.
what I hear. And for
Right.
that reason, it is kind of for me a song where I'm like a little underwhelmed by everything between those moments.
Because I think you just politely said it sounds like scraps.
Yeah. It sounds
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Which is not bad. Which is not bad
No,
because
no.
when you're Gaga, your scraps are honor your vomit.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like,
And I do love the second verse. I love the way that I love her vocal in the verses for
Yeah.
sure. But I feel like if this song was going to be on Mayhem from like if it was in the original release, I think it would be very different. Like the verses and like the storytelling and the narrative arc in it, because something that I feel very strongly about Mayhem is that she really put her pen to work in the verses and the choruses. Like there's a lot of words on Mayhem,
right.
and this song kind of lacks that, at least from my point of view. But it's groovy, and I like
It's
that.
groovy and it's fun. And I do think it's notable that Dead Dance is set to impact pop radio and serve as a single for Lady Gaga, which is an interesting move because there's been so much speculation about like the next Mayhem single. Is there going to be one? Is she going to try to push a song while she's touring? Like what will that be? Will it be Vanish Into You? Will it be How Bad Do You Want Me? And then it's this, which almost feels like they're like, okay, spooky season, Halloween classic. Let's try to like put this song out there because the general public will be like ooky spooky.
Right. And let's also talk about that she wasn't planning to tour.
Right. That's true too.
So who knows what would have panned out otherwise, but like there could have been another single in between Abracadabra and now, but it's also like in like modern pop, they really let singles breathe once they're successful.
Right.
And I feel like that's why they have been. And Abracadabra was such a moment, like such an insane moment. It still is. It is the most streamed female song of this year, which is insane. And I don't think with how powerful and kind of far-reaching the imagery from The Art of Personal Chaos has been, I don't know, at least for me as an artist, I don't know if I would want to like make a video for Zombie Boy when I'm like doing this big stage production of that song already. Right. And we talked about how Vanish Into You has become the fan moment of the tour. And we've talked about how Bad Do You Want Me has become the like vulnerable, I'm not wearing makeup moment of the tour.
Right.
So I don't know. I like get it. I get why this makes sense now.
I get it too. I guess where I am feeling cautious is I just knowing the way that fans can be about quote singles and like radio. This decision being like a bad move for her. Like, not saying that I agree with that take, but I understand where, people are being like, look at these songs look at the like streams on these songs. Like if we want Gaga to be like a radio #1 hit artist again, like why not take the momentum of these other album tracks?
Right.
Do we think Gaga wants to be that or needs to be that? No. Does most of her fan base, or I should say most of her fan base, like 25 and up, honestly,
right.
is like so dead set on trying to like recapture and recreate, and like this idea that anytime Gaga puts out music, it's going to absolutely go number one across the world.
It's going to be
gonna
2011
dominate
again. Yeah.
and like change everything. And it's like, I don't think that's what this is. And like, if it's on the radio, great. I'll boop and bop in my Uber. Like, I don't care. But like, is it going to be number one? No.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess technically it went number one on iTunes, but iTunes is like a different thing because people don't buy their music anymore.
I think it was like 96 on Spotify or something.
Yeah. And like it doesn't matter to us, and I don't think it matters to her. I think what is the interesting next natural step in this conversation is that, you know, we talked about Can't Stop the High, we talked about Kill for Love and The Dead Dance being included in like a new digital release of Mayhem. Like there's 2 versions of Mayhem on streaming, but that wasn't really announced anywhere, and it's not really been acknowledged by Gaga or her team that like Mayhem has gotten this bonus or this upgrade or this like extension on streaming. It's not called a special edition or Total Mayhem. I don't need it to be called that, but it's interesting. And so that kind of silence was fascinating until last night, when at 7:55 p.m. Miami time, 5 minutes before she was set to go on, Gaga reveals that her vocal coach and her doctor are like, your voice is so strained, you cannot go on. If you want to keep doing more dates, you're just going to like fuck your voice up. So it's just been kind of a weird couple of days in the fan base and like, online.
Not that I'm like the most superstitious or, you know, but when I watched that music video and I saw Miss Mams getting all up in those dolls, I said something bad is going to happen. And then when she announced that, I was like, they got you, girl.
Well, and that's what's funny too, is apparently there's a Mexican artist who made 12 dolls for the set.
Yes.
So I'm like, did she touch the new ones or the ones that have been there for fucking ever?
Well, I just think that it's like, don't come on my island and play in my face, in your little
Colleen
porcelain
Atwood
doll, your little Colleen Atwood original porcelain doll with the character shoot, and think that you're gonna get out of here unscathed
with Mr. Ookie Spooky himself.
Yes.
I don't know. It is just like very interesting, and I hope she's resting up and like doing what she needs to do. And you and I, if anybody's wondering, we are not the fans who are going to be like, this is such a of course it's disappointing for the fans, and I feel so sad for them, and they were waiting outside the venue.
How devastating for her.
Right. And she's,
you know, she didn't want to do that.
And she's postponing, she's not canceling, and blah blah blah. And let's talk about the humidity in fucking Miami. Like, she probably got off that plane and her voice was fucked the second she got off.
Well, and let's talk about her fucking crazy ass vocal performances every night of this goddamn tour.
Yeah, especially night 2 of Miami, where something changed.
She was going for
in the
it.
night. And then did you see that at the end of night 2 of Miami, she was sobbing? Like,
yeah, because she's like, I fucking blew my vocal
in
cords.
A different way than she's been crying in the past. And I don't know if it's because The Edge of Glory was playing and Born This Way is everything to her, or if she was like, oh, I know I messed up.
There's a clip going around of her doing the iconic shallow, like, for lack of a better term, battle cry.
Absolutely.
And she is going for it to the point where it's like, you can hear her voice beyond like all the other instruments and like the tracking. It's like all you hear is her.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're in a fucking arena. Like, girl.
It's crazy. And a cell phone video is picking this shit up like this. It sounds like she's in your headphones. Yeah,
it's like beyond the amplification of the fucking PA in the arena.
Right. Oh, gosh. I hope she's okay. I hope she's not cursed by these dolls. I saw a funny video of someone like just like with a screenshot of Lady Gaga, of a picture of Lady Gaga on their phone, like moving the evil eye emoji over her, like scrubbing her with
it. Was like scrubbing her. Yes. Well, I guess what's funny too is like, here we are, we've talked like, I don't know, 30 minutes about this song, and we barely talked about the video because there's not a ton to say, which is
Right.
okay. Which
Right.
is okay. And I think that's another frustrating thing for a lot of these fans that get so hyped by these rumors, and
Yeah.
they're assuming like 27 costume changes, 3 different songs, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's okay if it's literally a song about dancing that she's in one look that's very relevant to the setting, very relevant to like Tim Burton's whole artistic vision and eye. Like, it's very much like a character in a world.
Yes.
And she does the dance, and that's it.
The video was about their collaboration, the set, the location, and the costume, and it's referral back to Wednesday as well.
Wednesday.
So
that's literally it.
But I will say, like, we ride an interesting line, I feel like, in the fan base oftentimes. But from what I'm seeing online, being on Gaga Daily, where I do research on fan feedback, and even like online and other spaces, I feel like it's really polarizing. Like, we sit in an interesting gray area. A lot of people are like, this was a horrible decision, this is a horrible song and video, and there are a lot of people being like, this is one of her best songs, this is one of her best videos. So it's a really interesting split,
including
down the
Sarah.
middle. Yeah.
Did you see that? The comment? She's like,
yes.
best video ever.
Yes. And like, it is beautifully done. Like, I will
She's like,
say,
did you see that fucking makeup application, bitch?
Gorgeous.
Yeah, best video ever.
I'm just like,
gorgeous.
I mean, when I watch it, like, from the eye of someone who's edited a lot of video stuff, I'm like, and I'm no filmmaker, I'm like, this is beautifully edited, beautifully shot. Like, this is gorgeous.
Which is what's so funny is there's like threads on Twitter right now of people being like, here's every other music video directed by a major director that's so much better than Dead Dance. They're like, Tim Burton doesn't know what he's doing. And it's like, what? Because it's not like some fucking, like, I don't know.
Why? Because
like,
they had 24 hours on location? Like, geez.
Right. And it's like, because there's not like a million jump cuts and like 30 different scenarios. Like, I feel like, and no shade to the industry, I know that it's major, but like, I feel like we're so K-pop pilled now when it comes to like visual music videos, where it's like, there needs to be all these crazy scenarios, all these different looks, all these different characterizations. It's like, maybe that's not what this is, and that's okay.
Right. And I saw something that was like, oh, so the big reveal is that she gets into her underwear at the end, and it's like, because they're showing off the costume that Colleen Atwood, who is an Oscar-winning designer, made, and she made the costumes for Wednesday. Like, are we not getting what this is about?
Getting it? Yes.
Yeah. Like, and it's
though I will say, there is an interesting part where she's like kind of crawling around through the shacks, and her hands look like dark. They look almost like, I'm assuming they're like bloodied. And it's kind of the only shot that we see of that. And it almost looks like I don't know. I feel like they tried something else, or they did some other scene that like didn't make the cut once they got her in the undergarments.
Maybe Netflix was like, ultimately this is a show for young people, or like, we don't want the gory, but also Tim Burton's not really known for like horror.
Right. I'm just saying, like, I feel like there was maybe one other like scenario or, like, thing that they like tried, and like they used some of it, but like it's only a brief moment where it's like her hands are very dark.
Yeah.
And
it just,
like, kind of crawling.
It feels like an editorial. You know what I mean? Like, the way it's shot, it's a beauty thing. She's not even like, in moments, she's not even lip syncing in a way that reflects how she sounds in the song necessarily. She's kind of just serving. And I'm like, let her serve.
Right. Well, and it's like, I remember, I forget now what interview it was, but she even hinted at this where she's like, I'm really obsessed with porcelain dolls right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is also something that she like probably just wanted to do. Like,
and I mean,
and there's also that it's also okay for her to just like be a pop star every so often.
Absolutely.
And like do, for lack of a better term, do a throwaway single for a fucking TV show.
Right.
Because guess what? That's what pop musicians do.
Right.
They have to make money and like, I don't know.
Collect the check. Yeah. And like also do the collaboration with this person who she admires, who's an icon, who like that's
it's like, it's not like she's doing a fucking like Burger King, like, I don't know why.
Right. And then there's like the Netflix of it all, like people speculating that, Gaga was one of the first girls to do the music documentary with them with 5'2", and then didn't really have a relationship with them for a long time. And now she has this big, from what we understand, to be a very high payout from them for this song, for her performance in the show. People are like, is this because the Mayhem Ball, Art of Personal Chaos, is going to get a Netflix special or like a documentary? Who knows? But there are like a lot of things behind the scenes that we can only like skim the surface of.
Well, and the payout for that performance in the show is so funny to me.
Right. I mean, they're saying it's $2 million, but I'm like, that's not just for the show. It's
probably for the entire
video. Like that's for all of it. For like
all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Netflix, let's talk about Gaga's appearance in Wednesday season 2.
Blink and you'll miss it.
Absolutely, you will. The images that are coming out, I have not watched the show. I've seen some clips, but the images that are coming out, beautiful. She looks so beautiful. Like the way she's lit.
I saw a funny tweet that was like something along the lines of like, yeah, there's no lighting effects on this. This is just what she looks like.
Exactly. Like, in my mind.
Yeah. She just rolls up like that.
She floats over.
Yeah. The fact that like her and Jenna Ortega are the same size in real life and they have her being this like towering, like ghostly apparition.
Totally. Yeah. I really love the still of her face inside the
Oh my God, the terrible CGI. I'm like, she was on set for one day and they were like, oh, fuck, we missed a line.
Well, that's what,
can you sit in front of a green screen real quick? Like,
that's what's so confusing is like, it's clear that she's on set because she's like touching Wednesday's face in one part. But then I'm like, there are other shots where I'm like, is this just like Tim Burton's weird style that's like this weird kind of like pastiche?
Well, let's get into the VXF of it all because or VFX. I don't know what I just said.
Letters.
Again. Oh my God. Yeah, letters. People have been saying that the dolls in the Dead Dance music video are AI generated.
Yeah.
But a producer from the music video came out and said, no, actually, the same artist, the VFX artist from Wednesday and the Umbrella Academy, who's like an Emmy nominee, did the visual effects for the music video.
Right.
And works with Tim Burton. So that might just be the look.
Right, that the doll's fingers kind of look odd when they're moving or whatever. I'm also like,
and then her face superimposed in that statue just has like this uncanny look. Like,
I'm like,
that's
where do you
think
the budget is going for this video? It's going to pay, I don't know, Tim Burton, Lady Gaga,
yeah,
the permits to film at this iconic location. Colleen
that you're like not supposed to fuck with.
Yeah, like they're like. A VFX studio did this and they were like, how quick can we do this?
Right.
So that's what I chalk it up to, and if that VFX studio used a little bit of intelligence, it pisses me off, but that's not on Gaga. Sorry.
It's not on Gaga and it's not on Tim. No. And people that are like, Tim Burton, like, you are terrible because you said you hate AI and then this happened. It's like, do you think Tim Burton's calling up the VFX studio being like, hey, by the way, who was assigned this and did they use AI? It's like, no.
Right. Especially because this was, again, a project that they made in like 24 hours, 48 hours, maybe. They said that they were on location for 48 hours, but I'm like, one of those days is truly set up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So who knows? But Gaga, she appeared in Wednesday. People loved it. There is a crossover between Little Monsters and people who like the ooky spooky macabre stuff. So
well, and like the creators said, if there's anyone who is the ultimate outsider, it's Lady Gaga.
Right. She is. And
they get her in that way, which is why I'm like, yes, because some people just see her as like a celebrity, but they don't see that she's still the freaky deaky girl.
Right. I think it's actually very sweet that in this day and age they said that, because I think a lot of people forget about that element of Gaga and like the beginning,
especially
of
like
her career.
Post A Star Is Born, there was this like perception change where it's like, oh, she's an A-lister. Like she is not.
She is, but she's different from all the rest of them.
Right.
Like ask
she's
anyone.
The perfect celebrity.
Yeah. So we know Gaga's on vocal rest. We know she has 2 shows this Saturday and Sunday in New York City, Madison Square Garden. She's closing that shit out. And we know that she's supposed to perform via the VMAs. I don't think she's going there. We don't think she's going there. We think it'll be a pre-recorded thing from the Art of Personal Chaos, maybe even something that they recorded at a previous Madison Square Garden show. But I wonder if it'll be the Dead Dance if they do some live stream from her concert in New York.
Right.
Because I think they're trying to push it. I mean, it's being playlisted. I got an ad today from Spotify and from Pitchfork being like, Lady Gaga's new single, like they are pushing it. And it's Netflix and it's Interscope and they're like doing the thing. And apparently she's supposed to be on Colbert for an interview and a performance on Monday. So we shall see.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a funny move, doing like the Dead Dance on Sunday and then the Dead Dance on Monday. Like,
right.
But well, so part of me is like, maybe if it is a pre-recorded moment from the Art of Personal Chaos at the VMAs, maybe it's Abracadabra.
Maybe it's Abra. Maybe it's because she's nominated for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe it's
like
fan
iconic
moment.
stage performance, and like just thinking about like Coachella and the way they shot it, like they could do the same fucking thing for the VMAs, like where it just starts and it's her being like, the category is dance or die. Like,
yeah. And even starting with like Bloody Mary, like all of that, like the whole thing.
Yeah. Or like I said, I think on the last episode, it's her being like, MTV, and it's How Bad Do You Want Me, and it's her under the stage at like the end of her show.
Totally. Definitely could see that. And definitely could see her going on Colbert and doing a medley of like Zombie Boy into the Dead Dance as well.
Right.
Because we know that she did at the Tudum event.
Yeah, now it's confirmed. She teased like some of the instrumental is Dead Dance, and she does the little choreo.
Yeah, exactly. Like
at the Tudum event.
Yeah, it's Zombie Boy is the Dead Dance's more sophisticated sister. You know,
right.
What else? Kill for Love is on streaming now. We Can Live. We talked about that. Can't Stop the High. It's on streaming now. We Can Breathe.
Can't Stop the High is going to become my top stream song of the year. Like I'm calling it now. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because people are like, oh, Can't Stop the High is what's needed because it like rounds out Perfect Celebrity and Killa. Like it puts it like does this thing. And I'm like, actually, for me, if we're going to talk about Mayhem as like piecing together all these pieces of Gaga's like musical narrative over the years, Can't Stop the High, could it be on Born This Way? Totally. Could it also be on Joanne? Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
To me, there's something about the melody that feels like
there's a video going around.
Yes. It's country. It's like twangy.
There's a video going around of the Coyote Ugly Girls with Can't Stop the High playing, and I'm like, exactly. I'm like, that's why it's my song. I'm like, I need to be on a bar dancing
Middle
to
America,
this.
Pool tables, tatted, burly truckers, like all of that. Yeah. It's
the DJ might take me home.
It's so good. And Kill for Love, I think, personally, is like a career high for Gaga. I think.
Yeah,
because of the vocal performance and because I don't know. I think it is almost a perfect encapsulation of where she is now as a musician while tapping into her earliest influences, even better than some of the other songs on Mayhem.
It like makes sense as like, you know, she's talking about, she's like, I like dramatic music. I like cinematic music. It's like Kill for Love is that. Like it is just so lush and groovy and funky,
and that she's screaming on that shit.
She is skrelting. Yes,
it's so good. It's so good, and I'm so happy that we get to listen to Mayhem in this way going forward.
Yes, and now y'all fuckers don't have an excuse to not know the lyrics at the Mayhem Ball when she sings "Kill for Love" from beginning to end.
I'm like, Can't Stop the High acoustic on the piano, please, Gaga. Chicago Night One.
Well, I'm like, what song is going to get the chop from the set list if she's going to start doing the Dead Dance?
Yeah, I was wondering if it will be "Kill for Love." like my thought was, oh, was Kill for
It's
Love
like
just
that's
a
a placeholder.
Yeah, this whole time. Who knows?
But I also feel like she would sneak it into the act with Killa and Zombie Boy if she was going to include it in the show.
Totally. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, because Kill for Love is sort of like Shadow of a Man's sister.
Right.
Whereas
right.
The Dead Dance is
Zombie Boy's
sister. Yeah. And Can't Stop the High is Perfect Celebrity's sister.
Celebrity's sister.
Yes. Yeah, I'm so glad. Like I was like, if I wanted to get, I had like set up my Spotify to like get the local file that I downloaded on my computer to
oh my
play,
God.
and it wasn't working. So I would have to pop out. I have 2 versions of the Mayhem vinyl, one with Kill for Love.
You would have to
one
switch it.
Yes. So I was like, am I feeling like I want to listen to Can't Stop the High or Kill for Love today? And it did, like listening to those versions. Each one changed the album to me. So now having both plus the Dead Dance, it's just perfect.
Yeah, I wonder if the Dead Dance will get like a physical release if they're really going to push it.
I know.
Because it would make me think of like if they want it to be a Halloween anthem, like having Monster Mash or Thriller on vinyl, you know, like having the Dead Dance on vinyl
like
would be like yeah, exactly.
And it does make me wonder if they will release like a 7-inch. They didn't do it for Disease. They didn't do it for Abracadabra, but like I wonder if they would do one where it's like Abracadabra on one side and the Dead Dance on the other or something, you know, like
yeah.
People have been wanting more physicals from her this time around. And if they're pushing it, that's a way to get collectors and all of that stuff to buy.
And I'm intrigued to see, I mean, we know they're pushing it, but I'm intrigued to see if like the TikTokification will actually happen.
Will stick. Yeah. I haven't seen much, I'm going to be honest.
Same.
Like I've seen some like little monsters who are known online as little monsters doing the choreo and like getting their life, but I haven't really been seeing like, I don't think this like moms at the mall are going to do this.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
No, but it's okay. The song is cute. It's growing on me every time I listen to it. So
same.
I'm just like, she's getting her little jush on the Dead Dance. And
and it's also just like, we've been so fed, like a perfect example. Someone posted today, it was Gaga at the fucking Joker premiere when she has the beautiful Philip Tracy headpiece on.
Yeah.
And they're like, I can't believe that this was a year ago today. It's like, we have been so fed this year.
I know.
With so many wonderful, incredible, amazing things that like, so what if we've got a cute little single for the kids?
Right.
You
and
know what?
I want to point out that we are psychically, spiritually, artistically linked to this woman because we started this podcast and we did like a little intro episode introducing ourselves. And then like a week later, Die With a Smile is announced.
Right.
That like set off a whole year of insane, amazing stuff from this woman, and I have no complaints. I can think a song is weaker than other songs and still
exactly.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be your favorite. You don't have to love it.
Right. Well, anyway, if you got to the end of this long episode, we covered a lot. There's a lot. We covered a lot. And there's a lot coming up, so you'll be hearing from us soon.
You'll be hearing from us.
Yeah,
don't you worry.
From us, from our spokespeople about this.
Yes.
But anyway, talk to you later. Listen to us later, I guess.
Do the Dead Dance.
Yeah, do it. Bye.
Bye.
Chewing on